Year 1700. India controls almost 1/4 of the world's money, while America is mostly forests and tiny colonies. Today, China makes about 18% of the global economy. India back then, even bigger than modern China. And somehow, that economic giant became poor today. So what went wrong?
How did India went from super rich to poor? How is this possible?
Dude, it's literally your fault.
But I also built many infrastructure in your country.
Back in the 1700s, before the British arrived, India was so rich that it's honestly hard to imagine today. There were ships full of textiles, markets full of gold and silver, traders from across the world competing to buy Indian goods. India wasn't catching up to the world. The world was trying to catch up to India. Then the British came and slowly drained enormous wealth. But bro, here's the question nobody asks. What if they didn't? What if Britain industrialized India instead of extracting from it? Let me give you a hint. In 2026, instead of China being the manufacturing superpower, most products around you might say, made in India instead of made in China. So how did one of the richest regions on Earth fall so far? Bro, if you enjoy learning history that school somehow made boring, you're officially part of the 1% who actually want to understand how the world works. And honestly, I'm proud of you. Most people just scroll. You stayed to learn something new. Hit subscribe so YouTube knows from now you're one of us. And smash like, respectfully, with maximum historical force. And comment whatever you want. I don't care.
Always making noise. Switzerland's popcorn, the ultimate choice. India's chapel, the legend renowned. In this arena, where champions are found. Speeding ahead, breaking free. Endless options for you and me. Chaos reigns. Anime versus in this dizzying maze. Multiverse dimension, we fly. Across dimensions, we thrive. Anime versus, let's revive. So let's persist, never slow. In this journey our spirits grow. With anime versus leading the way. Every single moment, come what may. Come what may. Go, 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 go. Anime versus.
Imagine the world economy as a leaderboard. India was ranked number 1. Europe was still grinding levels. And America, bro, they still figuring out the controls.
God, this is a new headache now.
What happened now?
Indian cotton clothes are literally everywhere.
So what? That's just called trade.
No, it's called disaster, because our people stopped buying local fabrics.
Huh. So your industries can't compete?
Nah, they're collapsing.
LOL, that sounds like a skill issue to me. Let me give you an idea. Ban Indian textiles.
Are you sure I can do that? I mean, the demand is crazy high.
Nothing is wrong in trying, whether you rise yourself or lower everyone else first.
Yes, India's exports were too good. Indian cotton clothes were so popular that European governments literally tried banning them because local industries couldn't compete. Europe basically said this fabric is too good. Ban it. India had skilled artisans, advanced steel production, shipbuilding, and global banking systems. Bengal alone generated massive wealth. European travelers arrived in India and thought parts of it looked richer than London itself. Imagine the iPhone releasing, but only one country can manufacture it perfectly. That was India with textiles. Bro, India didn't become rich through conquest. It became rich through trade. And then, a trading company arrived. Not an empire. A company. I think you understood which company I'm talking about. The British East India Company. The British East India Company originally came for business, but business slowly became control, and Britain faced two choices. They chose option B, and this is where history gets dark. India exported raw cotton cheaply, and British factories turned it into finished clothes using machines. Then Britain sold those clothes back to India for profit. It was economic recycling. Except only one side earned money. Imagine selling your ingredients to someone, then buying your own cake back at triple price. Now I am going to show you something which even textbooks don't explain clearly. Indian artisans suddenly had to compete with machine factories powered by industrial technology. So obviously, they couldn't win. India's industries and Indian workers' jobs disappeared. Millions of Indians now had no job. Entire economic systems changed. Britain didn't just take wealth, they also slowed India's industrial growth. And this changes everything. British created economic policies and laws that pushed India to produce raw materials like cotton and indigo, instead of allowing Indians to build their own factories and manufacture finished products. Why? Because an industrial India would become too powerful. Guys, think about it. If India industrialized during the 1800s, then Europe might never dominate global economics. The countries leading the world economy today might not be the same at all.
Plot twist, Indian taxes even paid salaries of British soldiers ruling India.
Britain became rich faster, but they created a long-term economic imbalance. Remember the beginning. I said, in year 1700, India controlled 1/4 of the world's wealth, around 24 to 25% of global GDP. So now let's ask the question your teachers never answered. What if Britain chose option A instead? What if, instead of draining India's wealth, they industrialized India? How would India's GDP look? Its GDP per person, its population, military, and global power. And the answers are honestly not what most people expect. Before we continue, make a prediction in your head. Do you think India becomes richer than modern America, or does something unexpected still stop it?
Ah yes, I have officially colonized India.
Wait, you what?
Yes mate, colonized. It's a very professional decision.
But you came here to trade spices.
Hey, plans change.
History really said free trial expired.
Alright, I have a plant.
Huh?
Sorry, I mean plan. This editor can't even write scripts properly.
I'm listening, but I don't trust you.
Instead of directly taking wealth from you, we will build industries here.
Wait, that's illegal. Colonizers don't do that.
Yeah well, what else can I even do now? Our editor is so stupid that he ran out of ideas.
Emotional, damn it!
Machines would arrive in India decades earlier, which would speed up things by 2 times, 3 times, or even 10 times. Steam engines will roar in Bengal. Textile factories also will grow in Bombay. Steel plants would absolutely rise across the subcontinent. So, we're making finished products now.
Yes.
And selling them worldwide.
Yes.
And the money stays here.
Mostly.
Damn, I accept this timeline. And this single change creates a chain reaction nobody in 1700 could imagine. Actually, when you build one factory, it never stays just one factory. People move there for jobs, shops open, and roads get built. More businesses would show up because money is flowing. Where is money? There is honey. And before anyone even realizes it, a small industrial town turns into a massive city. Then another factory appears, and another. Like this, one day India won't be just selling raw materials anymore. It's gonna build the finished products the whole world wants. India goes from seller of resources to maker of everything.
We handle global finance.
We build the world's goods.
Deal.
Here's a secret most history classes never talk about. If India industrialized early, India would gain independence much earlier too. Not in 1947. It would be more like somewhere between the 1880s and early 1900s. Why? Because countries usually gain independence when 3 things start growing at the same time. What are those 3 things? An educated population, a strong local economy, and powerful industrial elites who want political control. And industrialization accelerates all 3. So, if we built the industries, run the economy, and power the empire, then why are we not ruling ourselves?
Why are you asking me such an uncomfortable question?
So in this timeline, India doesn't fight for independence because it's weak. It gains independence because it becomes too strong to control. But wait, history still has one unavoidable event: partition. Even in this timeline, political tensions still exist. Partition still happens. That is basically inevitable. But there is one good news. The outcome looks very different. Both countries would be already developed. By 2026, if you walk into a store, electronics, cars, phones, machines, they all would be made in India. Yes, China still grows, but India industrialized 150 years earlier, so global manufacturing would center around India instead. What would be its GDP? GDP per capita, population, military. GDP would be around $22 to $30 trillion. That means India would become top 2 economy, possibly rivaling USA instead of China. The GDP per person would be $18,000 to $25,000 per year. The population would be 1.1 to 1.2 billion instead of 1.4 billion because earlier urbanization plus education will reduce the birth rate. The military would be insane. Today it would look something like this.
So this is the world that could have existed. Dang, if I had industrialized India instead of looting it, the entire world would look different.
Whatever happened has happened. But now, I'm trying to become the world's factory again.
The stage is bright, countryballs rolling, taking flight. Speeding ahead, breaking free. Beyond stand you and me. UK, USA, living strong. Mexico's rhythm, join the song. Switzerland's peace, steady and bright. Countryballs unite, shining light. Across dimensions we thrive. Enemy versus, let's revive. So let's persist, never slow. In this journey our spirits grow. With enemy versus leading the way.